Now up to the song, yeah, let's come together as one. They say you're not there, we stand, if I there, we fall. If we not celebrate, we do it for you. Voila, you forget it. You from Lower Country, you from Maryland. Voila, you from Rewa City. I'm a bad way on your people. I walk on the fine way. Tabila, I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Free land on liberty, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
I was raised in the slum, but I chilled with my guns. Kept it on the low, but we fought for the bones. True son of the soul, I'm a prince in my own. Never gonna lie, me, I love LIB. Even though it's far, when we show we can face it. It's not a prophecy, I know that we can rise again. Holding my hand, I holding your own. United, we stand, divided, we fall. You know what I say when I can't with ball, when I chill.
The vernacular seems to be very, very, very intriguing. When we listen to this song, it enacts, the momentum and builds up the tenacity to be able to have more exuberance on the platform. This is how I would like to welcome you and introduce you to the biggest thing happening on radio at about this time, where we discuss Liberia under the microscope for its positive nature and to ensure that all of the things happening in Liberia is well discussed. My name is Washington Prince Tapper Jr., and I want to welcome you to the program Open Conversation. Open Conversation is a 2-hour current affairs program that talks about all the highlights, the major happenings in the country, and we inform the Liberian people about the positivities of the government and its people. Let me now cross the decks to welcome, and I see her, very jubilant.
Nobody.
So you want me?
Nobody. Nobody. I mean, hey.
She's very jubilant tonight. Let me.
As long as you have life, you have to be happy.
Exactly.
You know how many persons want to be healthy and happy, and they're just lying down in JFK or Catholic hospital or a clinic somewhere around. So if you have strength, you have life, you have joy. All you need to do is just give God the glory.
Exactly.
Because He loves, our praises. When praises go up, blessings are bound to come down.
Yes.
So it's good to be here. Today is what? Wednesday?
Today's
Thursday.
Thursday.
Okay, this Thursday is the what?
Today's the 19th of October. Yes. Gradually.
Moving into November. Yes. It's a blessing to see from January to October. Yeah, not many others had the opportunity. We're grateful. And it's good to be back here again and on Open Conversation. The conversation is open. Let's keep it open and silver. We know that we have gone to elections. October 10, we were praying for. That came, it's gone. We're into getting to know who our leaders are, and which is a very good thing to know, because when you go to elections, after the elections, you want to know exactly who your leaders are. So we know, some of our leaders, almost all of them now, especially when we talk about the senators and the representatives.
Yeah, the reps and the Senate.
That we've had a general and presidential elections. So we obviously know who some of our leaders are, or most of our leaders are. Forgive us, we're not familiar with the names. We also know the ones we are familiar with are the ones who are leaving us.
Yes.
And we will, we'll call some of the names here tonight. Those who are leaving us, who are leaving the capital. We'll let you know about them. Our usual guest is becoming our usual guest. Yes, Sister Minister Daniel Thomas will be with us tonight also, and we will be, talking politics. All we know now is that the National Elections Commission will tell you the progressive talent overall talent results from what the NEC boss announced today, the Coalition for Democratic Change of incumbent President George Weah is still on top of the table, and almost all of the vote. The only thing that is remaining now is that in Nimba County, District number 4, there are 2 polling places that will be going to elections. There will be a rerun of the elections over there, the presidential, legislative, and senatorial elections. There will be a rerun of all of them on tomorrow, Friday, in District number 4. We know that when those results are out, then we know exactly what's going to happen, whether Madam Divieta Brown-Lassana now will be incumbent of
a projection
upon her to tell us, what the numbers are, and whether we're going to a rerun of the elections. But all of us are, already, I know political parties have already, started putting themselves in gear, just for a run of elections. Some people, have already started the conversation and already
the conversation about campaign.
Yeah. Without any pronouncement from the National Elections Commission. But again, this is Liberia, and that's how we do things here. So it is what it is. Tell us, there are so many things happening today, and you start the ball rolling. Let me just introduce our, how do I call you? What kind of guest are you now? You're becoming a stay-in guest. Is that how they call it? You'll always find Daniel with us now.
Yes.
Going forward.
Yes. So stay-in guest.
Yes, stay-in guest, and we will always be.
That will be the appropriate appositive.
Okay. The appropriate what?
Appositive.
Hello. That's much old.
Mark 3.
Yeah. You're the one who make the cool people. Make people to put mouth on us, the cool people. You're full of BB book.
It's not BB book, man. Come on.
What is the word again?
Appositive.
So I think you're the one who are going to be, anyway, let me not say that yet, because somebody might hold me, responsible for that and take it against me. So I'm not going to say that. But again, it is what it is. And Daniel will be with us most of the time. Yeah, we'll be talking serious politics here. And we will be joined later on at 8:30 by Mr. Eric Kennedy. He's the son of Bond County from the States. He will be telling us, we'll be talking more about, his perspective. He was there, he witnessed the elections, before and after. We'll be asking him a few questions, and we'll be talking about that later on at 8:30 also, before we, join everything together. But the format of the show. So
exactly. So the format of the show is that trending issue needs to be discussed, and when we get into trending issues, and then Daniel Nukes Thomas is with us. So he's a full participant of everything we're going to be doing here tonight. So he's also going to be involved with that. So today, Mr. Costa took him to a podcast, and he said a lot of disgusting and detestable things about the opposition gathering. He said some things about Mr. Bouaka, the former vice president of the Republic of Liberia. And he revealed, he made some revelations today. And Jeremiah Kuhn also spoke to one of the radio stations in Nimba County, and he spoke about political tribalism. And these are things that we want to speak again. So today, Mr. Costa said that, he gave his own opinion on the elections. He was trying to be a little analytical and according to his words. So he said, in the first place, there were lots of negative projections by the opposition in terms of all of the things that the opposition campaigned on, about some of the things they think the government is not up to, those campaign messages that they place in the hearts and in the ears, or through the ears of the Liberian people. But through it all, he said that the Liberian people are still concentrating on the popularity and on the maintenance of George Weah as president of the Republic of Liberia. That is why the next the next pronouncement projects George Weah, president of the Republic of Liberia, to still be in the lead at about this time. The Unity Party and the opposition thought that, in the words of Mr. Costa, they thought that they would have just swept President Weah out of the presidency in the first round of the elections, owing to the fact that the Unity Party exercised total ingratitude. They were very selfish, and they are a kind of people who do not recognize when people do good for them. That was what he said. And he said they were planned to disrupt and dissolve the CPP, the fragmented CPP. So Mr. Costa said they did that in the interest of former Vice President Joseph Boakai. And but he branded him to be someone who shows ingratitude, and to an extent when he said that Mr. Boakai even sent him a text that Henry Costa wants to kill him. Yes.
For what?
Yes. Because normally the former vice president will go through the US for some medical checkups. So Henry Costa said he had arranged this checkup for the former vice president. But later on, the former vice president got an intel that Mr. Costa has, been linked to this government, in the words of Costa, that Mr. Costa is talking to people in the government to have him, assassinated, so that the elections would be something like a free ride. So today, Mr. Costa spoke with that anger that, hey man, all the thing I did for you, blah 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 blah, and then you said that I want to kill you, that thing that help me go inside me. He spoke like that, and you could see that he was actually disappointed with all of the efforts. He was actually disappointed. So he said that Mr. Boakai shows him, extreme ingratitude. That is the reason why he had to revoke his support from the Unity Party. And a lot of folks in the Unity Party did not understand, some of the things, or most of the things, that he Costa went through to deliver the Unity Party and to bring them to prominence and put them on the political pedestal. They did not understand it. So they're patting him on the back. Oh, Mr. Costa, you can go back. Mr. Costa, you can go back. But they know how he been stabbed in the back. All of the pins that he's taken as an individual, he brought them. He according to him, he said he resurrected the political future of the former vice president that was already lying in ruin. That's what he said. So there are too many revelations that he popped up today, that they were assigned to destroy the CPP. You can recall that there were allegations.
Who assigned him?
The former vice president, in the words of Henry Costa.
Oh, so the former vice president assigned Costa,
yes,
and others,
yes, to destroy
the CPP.
The CPP.
Why?
Yeah, because he said that if Mr. Ellis Cummings would have stayed in the CPP, it would have been a serious political catastrophe for him to emerge.
For who now? Joseph Boakai?
Mr. Boakai, yes.
Okay.
As the head of the ticket, because that they have this arrangement that they would have gone to a consensus and later on gone to convention if the consensus would have held. So in order for Mr. Boakai to have kept his political future alive, there need to be certain tactics being applied by the Unity Party folks, and Henry Costa was just that right person at the right time to dismantle the CPP. So he used his tenacity, he used his exuberance, he used every God-given talent that he has to dismantle the CPP. And today you can see where the CPP is. So that is from the ingenuity of Henry Costa and the folks that supported that whole entire political agenda. So he said a lot of things today. And he even says some detestable things about the Unity Party, that the people are even preferring George Weah as president than Mr. Boakai, because Mr. Boakai shows astronomical ingratitude And because of that, the people are going the way the elections
So
are
which
projected.
way is he going?
Who? No, he said he wouldn't say.
You don't expect
Costa.
Titi, you don't expect Costa to tell you now which way he's going. But what he's expressing, first of all, let me say thank you again.
Welcome.
To the awesome team. It's good being back here. I think our presentation yesterday was a firebrand one, and I've been receiving a lot of calls today.
You can't let me to say all that one.
I'm sorry, you know we the cool people we suffer that way.
I can see you guys. Wow.
In fact, as a matter of fact, my screen name is Prosecco, so you know the cool people they get hard time.
I tell you.
So let me say thank you for yesterday, and also Washington has been making some very serious point. We started to talk as if we were prophetic. We started to talk about this yesterday. The acute ingratitude of the folks that are now bearing the name United Partisans, especially at the hierarchy level. Do you not expect Vice President Boakai, former Vice President Boakai, to be very, very deceptive and showing the highest mark of ingratitude? This was a man who was chairperson for the Lofa Defense Force. He ejected himself as if to say he was never a part of our national crisis. This was a man who Madam Sirleaf made and brought to essence all of the trivialities and the bad issues of the Unity Party. He ejected himself. This is a man who stood before a record crowd in the US after Madam Sirleaf made him relevant and earned over $30 million in 12 years, which of course he still boasts he's living on loan. So we are kind of asking as to whether he gambled that money away, because we don't understand it's impossible for you to work 12 years, earn over $30 million, and tell people that you're living on loan. There are big questions. This is this man who today, Henry Costa that is talking, made him relevant. When Madam Sirleaf left the Unity Party, there was a dissection of the intellectual class and the financiers of the party, because they saw a few handful of very rigidly aggressive, desperate young people who wanted to reach on to power. What they started to do was they started to show those people who made them ingratitude. They disrespect one to Madam Sirleaf first. It went to some of her comrades who were spending money on the party. So when Madam Sirleaf left, a whole bunch of her people left. Look at Amara Conner as an example. Amara Conner made many of those young brothers today that are detesting some of the good things that's been done in this country, even by Madam Sirleaf. When they decided to treat these people the way they treated them, you expect Vice President Boakai. When Unity Party was acutely dead, Costa was the mastermind of June 7. Where were they? Costa was the masterminder, the progenitor of this alleged 16 billion, which was an abstract feature that was presented to trouble the administration. They hail Costa, he was a demigod. They hail Costa, he was king amongst men. But today, because Costa has seen their ingratitude and decided to go away from them, they've called him names. Today they say Costa made plans to assassinate former Vice President Boakai when President Williams, I don't even know if he even killed a chicken in his life. These are the people that are fooling Liberian people. These are the people that are so desperate that has placed our country under the waves of fear. So everything Costa said today, just in my opening, I wasn't surprised, because the people we're talking about are bunch. I like to say this, I have no regret. They are exhibiting thuggish behavior in terms of the roadmap to the presidency. All of the things that people has done for them, they choose to push them under the bus. Or better than you, he don't like to talk about it. But I remember, in Liberia, you came in people news. Boakai spent almost 3 to 4 years on salary at Lone Star because of the Penana benefit. He was earning money because of the relationship you had with him. Today, he was the same person who told the public, sat on radio and said that UA was supporting the deployment of men across most of the country to create chaos. Over 15,000 men. Where would UA take ammunition fund to support a rebellion of 15,000 people? Do you know how much you even buy even 10 AK-47 bullets? Vice President Boakai said that on a private radio station, and you were keen to make a rebuttal. So, in short, before we go forward, Liberians should not take these people serious, because the only thing they have their eyes on is the presidency, not to develop Liberia, but to loot the country in all massive forms. And they couldn't need the people of Nimba County and Lofa County to have the aims accomplished. But thankfully, the people will have to see these people for themselves and their bareness. You know, there's a story we were growing up called the Emperor's New Clothes. This emperor was very much fascinated with fashion, to the extent that every day he wanted a new clothes. Until one day a tailor made him an abstract suit, and he decided to parade in the kingdom with this suit. Everybody knew he was naked. He believed in himself he was wearing clothes. It's the same thing with the United Party. They have convinced that they are the alternative, where they are the worst political group of people after Madam Salif's administration that is coming to claim that they are the rescue team. And what Costa said today, Costa has got no regret. It's very, very definitely true. I stand by that.
Wow. So what is it? Are they trying to lie their way to the presidency as a result of desperation?
Of course, Titi. First thing, let me say this to you. Look at the different campaign messages that they were spewing out there. One, these were people who made Liberians to believe, as if it was 40 generations ago, that it was President Weah that brought the issue of drugs in our country. When around 2013, the Center Street graveyard was a harboring place for our young brothers and sisters who dug up rotten coffins and bones
and human skulls
and lived in them. And they watch these people. It was under their administration when Perry Dono was arrested. It was 625 kilograms or pounds of narcotics. Their administration, they wanted Liberians to believe that it was President George Weah. But it was under Weah's administration that over $100 million worth of narcotics was arrested. If this administration was supporting drug, they were paid blind eye. It was under the administration that Madam Salif, that the Unity Party, admitted that corruption was the worst public enemy, and they did nothing to address it. How did Vice President Bwaga earn $20 million? Over $20 million. When Bromskin labeled him as a man who masquerades to be poor to buy public sentiments, when in the first place he was one of the richest Liberians in the history of our country. It is because they always like to eject themselves from the bad things that has happened that they have created, and want to paint an angelic picture of people or persons that they are not. Cool thing is, we live in a 21st century technologically driven world that Liberians can research. Not like before, when you and I were going to school in the 90s, TT, that we had to go and write everything we need or read from papers. Today, Liberians can research and see these historic facts, that the people that are coming today are people that had already damaged our economy. The issue of teenage pregnancy, the issue of massive prostitution, the issue of drug abuse, the issue of rape was very prevalent under the administration.
And those were some of Costa's concern, and just as he put it, because the messages were, I think his microphone.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, it's good. So Costa said in his altercation today, he said the messages of the Unity Party, like they're saying the drugs, the proliferation of the drugs, this and that, and blah blah blah, prostitution and all of that. So he made a comparative analysis with what happened under the Madame Salif's regime, and is it a strange thing? Are there not work being done? You know, he was trying to be a little objective.
Yep.
Yes. So he said, so there was no drugs under Madame Salif, right? So you
how possible is that?
No, because the Unity Party rescued.
That is the way they make it look like, you know, during the
absolutely
regime, there was no drug in the country.
Absolutely. So Costa is actually
even
telling
in the president's motorcade, President Sirleaf's
motorcade.
The guy was Peridolo.
Yeah, he was caught.
Yes,
yes,
was caught with drugs, right? So what is the message? So he was asking them. He said, "But what is the message these people are taking to the Liberian people when it comes to moving to the executive mansion?"
But the same rescuers, the same team that we see, these are the same faces we saw in the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. The portion of them who remained with Joseph Yumon Bwaka ambassador are the ones who were in the former President Sirleaf government. Brani Samuka, who was held, for the money of the AFL people, was in Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's government. He spent almost all those years working for the government. And how did he leave the government? How did he leave the former, how did he leave
corruption indictment?
Was it not the same Brani Samuka who was taken to court for mismanaging 1 million?
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
The AFL people are witnesses.
Exactly.
Okay. So the same Robert Pade, who is, going around here today and talking blah blah blah, was he not in the same
corruption web?
Yeah, in the same Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government, the same Patrick Honda, who is who is the incoming presidential.
The projected
2011, he almost made ELBC like Radio Kigali.
Of course.
2011.
Yeah, when no other, person, if you're in the opposition, you have no chance to sit on this radio to express your view. It's under, President George Weah that opposition can come to ELBC and express themselves.
So Titi, sorry to cut you off. What happened now to the generational inclusivity? So are they saying to Liberians that the brothers who pillaged our natural resources and mismanaged our country's coffers for the last 12 years, they are the only genius politically that has got the capability to run our country again?
What is their record? That is the problem. What is their record? The Jake Kabakoli who is writing all of these things against Senator Prince Johnson today. I remember I was a journalist at Sky FM. Jake Kabakoli called me and called Robert Clark. They wanted to pay us.
Correct.
Just to go and say things that we had no business saying.
That's what they do now.
Against President Weah. That against the CDC. And I told him I can't do that because that is not journalism. That is what they do. Jake Kabakoli can never come up and say he never said it. I say me, Titi Jibro, and Robert Clark. That is what they do. That's their job. So you can say that, you're going to do better. You're going to rescue people when you yourself, pillage all of what this government or your government, everything that the Liberian people had, you used it for your personal gain. How can you come back now and say, I am going to save you? You haven't even won elections yet. You're already fighting the person who got you to where you are. Because without Senator Prince Johnson, the Unity Party will not be talking about second round here. They will not be talking about second round.
No, they will not be.
But this is the Prince Johnson who has helped you. You are ready now to throw into the lion's den. You are ready now. You say he killed 250,000 Liberians and you cannot allow him to come anywhere near, Ambassador Joseph Boakai. I tried to kind of listen because Ambassador Boakai had a press conference today. I'm sorry, I didn't get anything.
It's unfortunate.
I didn't get anything because I couldn't hear, I couldn't understand anything. It was so noisy.
It was noisy.
I wouldn't waste my time.
No, for me, I had to listen, right? But
because you wanted to get the message out.
Of course, but I couldn't get anything out of it. It was important to listen because what we do here is talk about what this other person says and what the other person
I'm for your part, I understand.
Yeah.
It was just, I couldn't get anything from there.
Not at all.
Nothing.
But Titi, what do you expect to get from there? The first thing is, you see, when I was in school, high school, there are times we have these.
What did I expect to hear from there? I know that there is this, the messages that I've leaked from the chat room that is on Facebook.
Want to make clarity?
I want to
deny it.
Yeah, I want him to deny that. They're not planning these things against Senator Johnson. That is something I will expect him to.
Let me come in on that. Obviously, when it comes to the Unity Party's reaction to the leak conversation from the chat room, it's going to be a negative. They're not going to say,
"Oh." Did he say anything about it?
But did you hear anything?
I didn't. I heard something, but I didn't understand anything. And the reason why I paid attention to that was because when Ambassador Boakai went to Foya, he went to Foya before the death
of Momotama.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of those, Liberian citizens and Lofians who died. When Ambassador Boakai talked to the podium, he did not recognize that people had died in his hometown. And he says, as far as I'm concerned, there's no sedition here.
And that was terrible.
divisive.
Yeah, I asked and they said there's no sedition here. It was down for me as a mother. It's hard, breaking, because if you have a leader in your hometown, regardless of your child not supporting that leader as a father of the town in the county, if something like that happens, as a leader, you got to step up and say, my people, it's unfortunate that such a thing happened here. I'm sorry for what happened, and I don't think this should be happening, because we're all Liberians and we ought to do better. We can fight one another. That would have been a game changer. But to mount the podium and say, other people have already spoken about the people who die. In fact, there is no sedition here. As they said, no sedition is here. It's heart, breaking. He didn't speak to that. He didn't care whether people died because those people were seditions. The guy who was, his house was broken into and he was killed right in his room. His body dragged outside and beaten. He didn't care because he was a sedition. You cannot be a leader and not speak to such a thing, even if you were joyful, but just pretend for 1 second.
Exactly.
Pretend for 1 minute.
Titi, sorry to cut you off. I just want you to know something today. Vice President Boakai, I like to call him that way, but he's former. He's always left a footprint of what he's going to do. Wasn't it the same Unity Party standard bearer in Grand Bassa County before the Bassa people, where quote-unquote borrowed rescue mother took them along with Senator Johnson, who is being lassoed and taken along with them, said to Liberians, not Bassa but Liberians, that for any reason, if the elections do not go his way, quote-unquote rigged, because that's the new terminology that they developed with a period of time to confuse our people, that would be the end of Liberia. Didn't he say that?
Yes,
it was a premeditation of their actions manifested in Lofa County, a premeditation of the action manifested on Japanese Freeway, pretending to be members of ARCOP. These are the people.
Wow.
For the fact that, let me tell you something. A few weeks ago, Prof. Wilson Tape and Boakai and Kwame were sitting in the same studio, and Prof. Tape said something. He said, if you asked me 25 to 30 years ago who former Vice President Joseph Booma Boakai is, I would tell you then that he was a good man, a man morally upright and willing to work in the interest of the country. But if you ask me today, I would say that he is an expired product, because his actions do not in any way prove that he is an exemplary statesman. What is the political desperation for this presidency? Like I said yesterday, democracy, the issue of power in the presidency is given to you by the people. Any shortcut to the power is not a coincidence of the people. So why will you tell the people that you're going to end the children's future? You're going to end the existential opportunities the country may afford, despite the hardship that everywhere in the world we see today. You're going to end the peace and security they enjoy. You're going to end their ability to fend for themselves only because you have been deprived of the presidency. Is Liberia your birthright? Is Liberia your father's farm? Is Liberia a property that you bought, that the deed is there at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs? No. But because of the blind nature of the political appetite and the quench and thirst for that office called the presidency, President George Weah did not rush his way to the presidency. I am a living witness when the Democratic Alliance was formed. Before this coalition that we saw in 2011, it was President George, it was Senator George Weah, it was Most Ability, it was the late Charles Warner Bromsky, it was Franklin Siako, it was a whole bunch of the different political parties that came together and formed what you call a Democratic Alliance with the intention of going against Madam Sharif's administration, to remove the administration through the ballot boxes. The same scenario that begotted the CPP that led Cummings to be publicly embarrassed as a foster to that Costa talking about is the same thing that engulfed the Democratic Alliance. A few other political leaders there said that one or two political leaders had deep pockets, and if they were to amalgamate themselves and go to convention, Blonsky first of all said, I may not be the standard bearer because I may not have deep pocket. There are other people who have deep pockets here. So what did they do? They scattered the Democratic Alliance. Senator Weir still maintained that there should be a possibility for an amalgamation of different political parties that will go against Madam Sharif. That was how Councillor Winston Totman, who came on a lino, became the standard bearer for the party. It shows that we had no desperation for the presidency. After what he saw in 2005, after what we saw in 2005, if it was a man who was desperate for the presidency, I can tell you for sure, all these babblings that the Unity Party doing right away, Liberia was going to end, that was the time Liberia was supposed to end. Because the grassroots came all out in the numbers and they wanted this man. They didn't care. They look at the sheer audacity of the man's admittance that, oh, I'm not out of high school, but I sure have the capability to go and finish. While they were laughing at him, Liberians took the contextual importance of the presidents, the senators, the state at the time. So nobody man, that the kind of man we need. In 2005, they ran Weir as if to say Weir was the greatest authority in the country. They were paying him back for the services that he rendered when former Vice President Boubacar was chairman for Nova Defense Force. They were paying him back for the services he rendered when former Vice President Boubacar was laying somewhere in a special overseas marshal and Liberians were dying. If it had been the Unity Party since today, they would have done worse 2005. But guess what? He said to his people, it is not a rush that we must become president. If it is the will of the Liberian people that Madam Sharif is the president, let peace rule. 2011, because of the exemplary feature of peace that the president expressed after November 7, our brothers and sisters were killed at the party headquarters. Madam Sharif moved to appoint Ambassador Weir as what? Peace ambassador. Was his first responsibility. He went across the country unifying Liberians because he said the only way peace and tranquility can reign is only when Liberians are united. These talks today, a few of them that are rolling around here, we have never done that. They would have preferred to see the country burn. If a man can put his party's ego aside and say, you come and be, I'll follow you. Let me be by your side. Let's go and do it. He didn't win. He still stood by that. If Liberians can elect this man as the president, and you come and say, if you are not elected, this country is going to burn, our question is, what have you done?
But if you haven't done anything, that's why you want to burn everything.
That's what Liberians are telling them.
That is why you want to burn everything. If you did something and you know that you have an interest, you will not say such a thing. But let's leave it as it is and talk to Eric a little bit because Eric has to go. Mr. Eric Kennedy, how are you? And welcome to Open Conversation. What mic are you on? Five? Okay, good. How are you? Welcome back to Liberia. Welcome to Open Conversation.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be back home.
Okay. It's good to have you back home, but I know you've been out for a little bit and you've come back. What have you seen so far before we talk about, your observation when it comes to elections? Well, are you impressed with what you have seen, coming back to the country?
I've seen a lot, and I must submit that I'm impressed, given all of the negativity and all of the misinformation and that has been put up in the public space all over about our country. So to come here, we have to defy warnings and travel advisories. The country is not safe. Wow. People are walking and dropping dead. They have death squads and people are. So the negative projections about Liberia out there is just so bad. And so I'm glad that I came to see for myself. And it sounds like, the country is peaceful. The country is safe. I'm going about, my normal businesses. Nobody's running after me. I stay as late as I can, and I'm having a fun time on vacation. So I just want to tell my diaspora friends out there that the country is safe. And if there's anything that we're going to give to this government, is the fact that they've been able to maintain the peace and security of our country since Omnia withdrew. And for me, that is a monumental achievement. Since the war ended in 2003. Army was here, and every time they wanted to leave, our country who made a representation at the Security Council of the country was not safe, and the peacekeepers left, will go back to war. And since they left 2018, the country has been peaceful. And so I gave kudos to our security forces for the excellent job they've done maintaining the peace. And I think to a larger extent, the credit also go to the Liberian people, because it has to be us as Liberians who want peace, to be able to maintain the peace. So the Liberian people deserve our commendation as well.
Great. So you were here. Did you vote?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I voted in my Gibi.
I voted in my Gibi. Must you tell me where you voted? You from my Gibi?
I'm making full disclosure.
You from my
I'm a Firestone boy. I was born in Firestone.
Oh, okay. I thought you were from Bone County.
No, there's so many things about my.
Can you speak to the mic, please? If you want to tell me where you voted, now I gotta be asking you questions about
There's so many things about my origin. So first of all, my both parents come from Lofa County.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Salaye, the Pele Belt.
Okay.
But I live most of my other life in Bone County. Okay. So that's why people think I'm from Bone County.
Uh-huh.
And I speak the Pele vernacular very well. So, and I went to school in Nima. San Nicolas in High School.
Hey, Lofa, Nimba.
Cut across the belt.
Yeah. So a lot of people think I'm from Nima because I went to school at St. Mary's. Okay. But be that as it may, I think the elections went very well, and again, the Liberian people deserve our commendation for the peace of mind in which these elections were conducted. Again, like I said, there were this threat of violence, there were war drums beating, the countries would burn, people would die, Liberia would fail to exist. The Liberian people proved the critics wrong. And on election day, the atmosphere was cordial, peaceful, aside from few isolated cases. The election was relatively peaceful, as being certified by our international partners. So
did you come as an observer of
Aja? Yeah, I also observed the election. I went around the country. I went to Bone, Magibi, and Moserado. And I can tell you the momentum was high and the people were very enthusiastic and they conducted themselves peacefully. And again, kudos to Liberian people.
Are you saying if there be should there be a runoff? Are you going to be here for the runoff elections? Should there be one?
Oh yeah, I'm going to be here to inauguration.
So that's good.
Oh my God!
Okay. It's on a whole political vacation.
It's on a whole political vacation.
Okay, and you're not scared that No,
I'm not scared. So again, I didn't know that I lived and worked here before I went to the United States. So I don't get scared, and I know that if one of the things I had raised with the American embassy is this travel advisor the issue. Oh, be careful. You go to Liberia. And make sure that wherever you are, get your passport on your person. Whatever, if something happens, they want to know where we are so they can airlift.
No, you tell to put your dual citizen. So when anything happens, you're in Liberia already. So
I know to maneuver my way.
and I like the word you just used. Let me just dual citizen. It was this same president. The same president.
Of course, I want to ask him how he feels now.
Correct. That's a good question.
Yeah, voting in Liberia and still having to have the Americans concerned in case something happens to you.
That was a challenge.
And I can answer that without even thinking about it. That's one of the greatest things that will happen to our country. That dual citizen law. I was part of the debate, and I've argued. So the other people on the side was like, if you give the people dual citizenship, they will come here, they will take our country, they will take our job, blah blah blah.
Imagine like we're talking about.
Are you kidding me? So on every candidate, all of you know. So I still be denied Liberian citizenship because I live in America, or because I get American citizenship, or because I get American case.
But it took a judge we had to ask the president to make sure that doesn't continue.
And I think we should give George that credit. Because it happens on his watch, his son, and we can't take that from him. Politics aside, that's his signature achievement. As far as legislation is concerned, that's one of his signature achievements. So we got to give him that. because it didn't make sense. Right now, a lot of people are happy. So
can you speak to the mic, please?
Thank you. I have IQ, for example, the kids that I have in America, right? Why shouldn't they be Liberians? Because the American citizen, what sense does that make? So what President Willard did was to afford all of us an opportunity in the diaspora, to be whoever we are out there. But fundamentally and more importantly, that we can still be Liberians, irrespective of where we are. That once a Liberian is always a Liberian, and I like that.
Has that given you guys, in the diaspora, the urge to come back home and form part of, developing our country in whatever way, whether you're in the diaspora, but you have a place called home and you can develop this country. You can own your own house, your hotel, your whatever, and nobody's going to bother you because you are, an American citizen and also a Liberian citizen.
Absolutely. And the answer is a resounding yes. A lot of people have been upbeat about coming back home since the dual citizen law was passed. So I think that was a great thing. So yeah, a lot of people, me included, for me, I'm already a Liberian citizen. So that whole debate about whether or not I was a Liberian citizen will never on a question, because I see myself more Liberian than American because I was born here. I live all my adult life here. I was just privileged to go over there. So how can I not supposed to come back because of the opportunity that were afforded me over there? So it didn't make any sense. So yeah, you're right. So the dual citizen law has provided enormous opportunities to a lot of Liberians to come back home from the diaspora to help develop the country. So we are excited about that opportunity.
Do you have a question for him? Eric will soon leave us.
Yeah. So, what is your perspective when it comes to these electoral matters you've seen ongoing? How do you want to relate to the National Elections Commission? How can you give credit to the process and all of the institutions involved with the electoral matters in the country since you came? I
think the commission did an excellent job. The process was relatively peaceful, aside from the few skirmishes here and there. Again, like I said, the challenges that we have mainly was security. But in the absence of international security, in the absence of international support, we're able to conduct our own elections for the first time since our civil war ended. The process was peaceful. And again, I cannot overemphasize how much Liberian people proved our skeptics wrong. So they did a great job. Again, we just want to make sure that the country moves forward. So at this point, it is imminent that a runoff will take place. We don't know yet. We will know when the election in Nima holds tomorrow, and then we'll move forward. So it is a great thing.
There are politicians who are opting to unseat this government. Threatening remarks are coming out, and they're tending to make the state ungovernable with all of these false messages being preached. You, as a Liberian citizen, one who cares and wants to see his country to the next level, what will you say to these politicians when it comes to your own view?
I have categorically condemned individuals who have been making comments that have the propensity to threaten the peace and stability of our country. Let me be absolutely clear. Liberia is bigger than anybody. Whoever you are, our country is bigger than those who are aspiring to be our leaders. So it is disingenuous for people to be saying, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. If we don't get this is going to happen. Liberian people are not going to fall for that crap. They're not. We have enough of experiences.
Do you think it's from the backdrop of desperation because certain people feel that they have political entitlement? Do you think it's from the backdrop of desperation?
Well, in the political space, and people have the right to aspire for what they want to be, but even if you are desperate, you have to understand that the country comes first. So no amount of desperation should ever give any inclination to anybody to think that our community should be plunged into another civil crisis or to take us back to where we come from. And we're not going. The Liberian people are not going to fall for that crap. They have enough. They have enough of that. So we're going to move forward.
Yeah, Leslie, a projection on an imminent rerun, like you said, would be possible. What would be your own analysis, or we'll go into a rerun if it is possible?
Well, from my perspective, I give you this analogy. So it's like in the football world, when we're doing playing away, playing home, or that. When we reach to the knockout stage,
okay,
the best thing gonna win.
And so I don't like we're in the finals.
Yeah, so right now we're at the knockout stage. So the best thing gonna win. There's not gonna be any more rerun. There's not gonna be any more runoff. So where we are right now, once we get the result from NIMA, the commissioner gonna announce when the rerun is gonna take place. So at that point, the best is going to win, and I must submit that the elections have been competitive.
Exactly,
they have been competitive. So right now is that the two leading candidates are at 43%. The best candidate is going to win. The best prepared thing going to win.
Exactly, I like that.
And again, somebody said football is like biscuit, but they were not going to be like biscuit, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think the best thing going to win.
The best team is going to win. Let's get your parting comments and then we let you go.
Yeah, so let me thank you for the opportunity to add my voice to the discourse. And you guys have been doing a magnificent job preaching peace. This country is all that we have. So we have to maintain the peace. And I just want to tell the Liberian people out there, don't fall for any crowd about that war thing. We cannot afford to go back. Those of us who live during the war, we know what we went through, so we can't go back there. And the election will come, and election will go. The country stays. That's the most important thing. The country says, "Oh, will be here." And I see people fighting like hell. Come on. And, you don't have to make enemies in this electoral process. I see people are not speaking to each other because they belong to this side, below this side. We can afford to do that. All right. After the elections, we're just going to be here. You're going to see my friend. The other people on the other side are going to be my friend. The other people on the other side are going to be my friend. That's important for our country. And then whoever emerges victorious has a monumental responsibility to make sure the country is united, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
Because Liberia comes first, and Liberia is all that we have. So thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate you having me tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. We, want to say thank you for sharing your perspective with us this evening on Open Conversation. We wish you all the best, and we hope you stay safe in Liberia. You mana pikin, so no problem. You know how to maneuver your way. But again, the country is safe, like you said.
No, the country is safe.
There are just people who are out there making things seem as though we're all running helter skelter and beating war drums as if to say we're at long.
The country, you're right. The country is safe. I stay as late as I want to be. Nobody's running behind me, and I'm all over the place.
Enjoy your night stay.
Yeah, as a lot of people. So yeah, so the country is safe, and we can give that, to the security apparatus that they're doing a great job to keep us safe, and that's important.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy.
Thank you very much, and you can have a wonderful evening.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kennedy.
Thank you.
It was nice having you.
Okay, that's his perspective there on what he's from the States here to vote, and he that's how he sees Liberia right now, and he is really, really happy that there is peace despite the war drums being beaten out there, and people on social media making it seem as though we all are running for our lives in Liberia, which is definitely not the case. I always say a democracy is an exchange of ideas. If you are practicing democracy as a country, all of us have our sides. If I have my side, you have your side. Democracy is the will of the people, the majority of the people. So if you have majority on your side, that's fine. If you can convince majority of the people to be on your side, you must not, instill fear in the people, and you think that is the only way they're going to go your way, because obviously you can carry the cow to the water, but you can put that water, stop the water.
You can't force the cow to drink.
Force the cow to drink. We have to keep it, silver as a country. Liberia is not going to burn because the person is not, a president today. And President Weah has led this way of peace. He has been peaceful since 2005. And I'm sure he has continued, and he is resolved to remain peaceful. And sometimes I think I heard you or somebody say that sometimes people want to take advantage of his peaceful nature and think that they can institute violence.
But that's what they've been doing.
Yeah, because you have a president who is very peaceful. All he thinks about, number one, is keeping the peace.
Number two, peace.
Keeping Liberia safe. And so you think you can but the Liberian people themselves want peace, and they prefer to be, at peace with one another. Throughout the elections, with all of the campaign, whenever somebody tries to bring any all you will hear Liberian people say, we want peace, no more war.
Exactly.
We want peace, no more war, because nobody wants to go back to our dark days. But again, it is what it is as a country. People are tense, people are desperate, they want to come to power. But if the majority of the people say it is your time to rule or lead, you will be given the chance, because this government has that record of not cheating in elections. That anyone who wins election, the opposition has been winning elections here. How come now you think that somebody is going to cheat and you want to make it look like everybody?
But just an example. If you make that statement, just an example. See what's happening currently in these elections. How challenging it is, and you see most of the CDC lawmakers are falling. See what's happened with some of the districts in Montserrat County. And if you have a dictatorial government, they wouldn't accept that.
Of course.
You understand?
Of course.
They wouldn't. They will prevail.
So their way back to power.
You understand?
And we see that in other countries.
They will prevail. That these results cannot be accepted, because we need these people to complement the agenda of the government.
Of course.
Because you have how you call them, independent candidates. These people are likely to go either sides, right? But if you have a candidate from the ruling establishment,
if you have a Buffer Chambers, you have a Moses Akara,
you have a
Solomon George, the ruling establishment is not going to think about whether they're coming their way or not.
Absolutely not.
Already there.
You understand?
Yeah.
But look at the results. And look at the National Elections Commission, who's coordinating this whole entire electoral process. With the level of credibility, transparency, and with all of the political dexterity that has been applied in this process, we must give it a tap on the back.
Of course.
Honestly.
Of course.
You understand?
Now you talk about that. Let me just call the lawmakers who so far are not returning to
we talk
the
about this.
And then we'll come back to that statement from Senator Jeremiah Combs.
Yes.
Yeah, and then because I want us to give the people like 30 minutes to weigh in on what we're talking about. But elections, and the Liberian democracy is the will of the people.
Exactly.
And as long as the people speak,
you must obey.
You must obey.
Exactly.
And we must give it up for the government. Like you said, there are lawmakers who are from the CDC, but they've lost elections.
Challenging lawmakers, not just lawmakers. Challenging lawmakers.
People who, when you talk about CDC and you talk about the legislature, these are the people you look up to.
Yes.
But there are people saying, no, it's time for you to pack your bags and go in Jesus' name. The government.
You want to preach that?
Of course. So they have to go because it's democracy.
Exactly.
So you cannot be in the opposition and say, if I don't win election, Liberia will burn today. Liberia is going to fin. We're going to end Liberia if I don't win elections. Because you can impose yourself on the people. The people must say, we want you. So those who are already out of the legislature unless something miraculous happens. Maybe somebody goes to court and there is a they go
and there's
back
an empirical evidence
so
to overturn the National Elections Commission pronouncement.
Of course. So the Speaker of the House of Representatives, because he's the Speaker still until December of this year, Dr. Buffalo Chimers from Maryland County is out. Moses Akaros Gray is out from District number 8. Solomon George from District number 7 is out. C.B. Bashel from District number 3 is out. Lawrence Morris is also out. Rostalyn Swakoko Dennis is out. Jimmy Smith is out. Johnson Gueglo is out. Mariama B. Fofana is out. Clarence Masakwa is out. Francis Yimale is out. Bien Howard is out. Prince O.S. Tokpa is out. Roger Doma is out. Edward Kafia is out. Vanin Sherman is out. Tiber Rosa Tapoe is out. Vincent Willie is out. Larry Yankwe is out. Marshall Dennis. I'm calling senators and
all of them. They all of them from the House of Representatives.
No, Marshall Dennis is out. George Bole is out. Maurice Toma is out. Alex Chesia Grant is out. Jonathan Kapi is out. Steve Zago out. Kamine Wise out. Milton Tiaje out. Alfred Kwau out. Haja Fatah Sanyo out. Findala Sana out. Isaac Rowland out. Mary Kawa out. Kanye Wesso OUT. Joseph Matthews out. Bob Sharif out. Papa Koler out. Albert Hills out. Hassan Kiazulu OUT. Emerson Kamara out. Mambu Soni out. Famuya Kone out. George Bien Sama OUT. So
you were kind of reserved.
So you can see, right? We will see a brand new, a very new, let me not say brand new, but a very new legislature.
There's going to be a whole lot.
Very new.
Yes, there's going to be a whole lot.
Majority of these people, this is a very huge number of people who
we're going to be looking at political acquaintance.
Yes.
The issues of the House of Representatives. Yes.
How you see the representative or the national legislature is not an imperialistic environment. It is an environment where your works keeps you serving.
Exactly.
If you look at the U.S. Congress, you see people like Nancy Pelosi may have served for over 25 years. They keep re-electing them. There's a difference between a politician and a statesman. So I'll give you a common scenario which works in many democracies in the world. So a politician walks into the supermarket and he's being accompanied by many securities. Somebody's holding his water, somebody's holding his handkerchief, somebody's holding his briefcase. Everything he wants on the shelves, he points to them and they bring them down. A statesman walks into the supermarket alone, taking his stroller alone, carrying that which he wants. He sees an old lady struggling to take her stuff to the counter.
He will help her.
He leaves hers and take hers to the counter, help her get it done, make sure she's comfortably in her car before. So the two scenarios given, one is the master and one is the servant.
Of course.
A statesman is a servant. A statesman does not impose on the people. He or she implements the will of the people. So part of the lawmakers that are now returning, they're answering to the long silence and the patience of the people to make a decision to replace them. The new ones that have come should see the old ones going out as an example of the challenge that they have. It is a responsibility of every lawmaker to provide opportunities within the district for the people you lead. Sometimes we make life very herculeanly burdening for the government, especially the executive. If the executive must employ every single individual to give them a job, it becomes a mass burden that they must carry. But if the lawmakers in the different districts will identify opportunities and making these opportunities ready for the people, We two-face the burden on the government. Today in our country, we are struggling with the issue of waste, garbage across our country.
Exactly.
Whereas that is one of the greatest jobs that we could produce and provide for our people in our different districts, in our communities. But when they are elected, many of them, if you have served their time and they do well, some of them, because at times the voters get fatigued. They say,
of course, who wants somebody in power forever?
Very well. But some stayed without doing just anything, and they expect the people to find their own jobs. They expect the poor kid in the community whose mother sells in the market that cannot afford to send that kid to school to find his own school fees, when under their office there are opportunities that afford these people. Well, guess what? That's why people are answering to the call of the new people.
And not only that, because as a lawmaker, if the only thing that you need to do and you have to do, or you continue to do, is to, make yourself better and make your life better and make your family lives better, and forgetting about the
reality.
Yeah. Yes. Then it means that when people give you an opportunity, because you are a servant, you are only there because we say go and represent us there. What is your duty there? To make sure that we are comfortable. You have to hold national government's feet to the fire, hold the executive feet to the fire. My people do not have this. My people do not have this. Most of these people don't even come back to say, I have been serving from this time to this time, and there is this time for reporting. I've come to report to you. This is what I have done as a lawmaker. When it's their break time to report, they've gone somewhere else. I've been in district number 2. I've never seen, as even a journalist, I don't even know. I know my lawmaker's name, but I have not seen him in the district.
He's not had an opportunity.
Yeah. No, he doesn't have to come to me.
That relationship, that general relationship with the district.
General relationship with the district.
To say, our district lawmaker is calling this meeting, right, to tell us what he has done for us. Because the fact of the matter is, you have a district office. I agree, if you have but there are so many communities within the district. These are the people you come to elect you to power. And you owe it to these people. If you are even calling a meeting at the district office, let it be known in the entire district that you're calling people. And even if you can't go there, you come on the radio, put it on the radio station, carry to a radio station and say, we're having this district meeting, this and that, and blah blah blah. These people act like they owe nothing to the people.
So these newly elected representatives that will be taking over in January, you see, one thing I have noticed about the voters of late, they are trying to erase the sense of political entitlement. There are some of these people, they vote for you, you are elected, you go to the house to represent them. You think that it is an entitlement. It is your entitlement that you should be a representative for District 0, District Z, and District X, and nobody else can unseat you. So these representatives who are going to the house, it's a warning to them that you have a social corporate responsibility with the district. You have accountability issue with the district. You have transparency issue with the district. We are sending you there as our eye. Go and represent us at the parliament. Make sure you report back to us. Most of the people don't report to the people. They don't relate to them. They vote for you. You just invade the whole place. You just leave the place and you leave the people in absolute oblivion, and you just go.
Oh wow.
You understand?
Yeah. Because
so see what I'm coming. See what a representative somewhere in you just read his name, Kia Zulu. See what Kia Zulu did. Honestly,
what did he do?
Kia Zulu was elected on the Unity Party's ticket in 17. Kia Zulu, within no time, he abandoned the people, and then he left. He said he's going to where the place need to go run as. What kind of joke is that? To go run as senator? Where?
He won, eh?
Well won. Okay. So you see, it is a total.
People can be singing it. Nobody is too big.
It is a total disappointment to the people. So the voters now are being politically conscious. If you don't do well for them in the next 6 years, my brother, you're packing and you're leaving.
Okay, the other people who come in and they already know what's up.
Yes.
Let's hope that they'll do their best to make it work.
Yeah, but you see, I like the way we're putting a little spin on this. We're trying to send a message to the newly elected people. But there's one problem that we have in our district. I think we need to find a time to talk about this. It's an enlightening problem that many persons don't usually talk about. Our communities are not structured in the way that it affects the district overall. If our communities were structured, today if you hear about a community chairman in a community, the first thing that comes to your mind is settling dispute in the community, writing letter of recommendation, right? But honestly, the community chairman at the local government level is almost like the deputy to the lawmaker.
Exactly.
Because he or she is responsible for the sanctity of the community.
And make report in case of any eventuality.
If the lawmaker receives $150,000 as district development fund, it is the community chairman's responsibility to identify with the coincidence of the people, projects and programs that must be implemented. That is why a lawmaker that is elected on the tripartite agreement basis. The community, which makes up the district, his office, and the government. That tripartite agreement between the three parties has to be upheld. And because many of these people, what logic it is, a man who was as ordinary as a Yana boy down water side, because of the confidence reposed in him by the people, say, my man, hold the food for all, go and bring everybody to the council, you can share. Before the people get back, they're hungry. You feel eating all the food.
Yeah.
Then you look at it and say, but yeah, that money look at all the pen.
And they put me by again.
Yeah. You see it. That's the
Anyway,
problem.
it is what it is. 5, 10, 15. We got 15 more minutes. But again, we come back to national. We're talking national.
Yeah, let's go. Let's continue. Let's deal with these people.
Let's come back to what is happening, because eventually we're going to a runoff.
Yes.
And Liberia is all we have. And going to runoff, and you already have politicians who are preaching what we will refer to as tribal politics.
Yes.
You listen to
Senator Coon
start the ball, kick the ball rolling, and then we'll
So Senator Coon appeared on one of the local radio stations in Nimba County.
Okay.
And then he was asked by the journalist and said, but why is it that the people in the southeast, because if you remember in the campaign time, Senator Coon made some rounds in the southeast. So he was asked by the journalist that why the people in the southeast overwhelmingly voted for President Weah. And his response was, if the people in the southeast didn't vote on tribal line, then they probably do not understand the constraints and circumstances that bewildered them. And then I became puzzled and icky. And I was like, what does that mean to the safety and the sensitive, the politics and the message we preach to the people? Now, you are leaving the actual issues and you're preaching tribal politics. The people in the southeast voted President Weah because they are tribal men. You understand? This is not the message. The people in the southeast better feel comfortable and they want to repose their trust in this man than the team. It's all about the exchange of political ideas. They think that the team called Rescue, it is not in their interest. They think the other team is the best team. So they go for the one they think is the best. So I think Senator Coon should be talking about it is the exchange of ideas. They do not buy our platform, but they buy the platform of the president. That is the reason why they have overwhelmingly voted him, taking into consideration all of the constraints. Yes, how many counties in Liberia do not have constraints? Even Montserrat County, there are some parts in Montserrat here you got constraints. People were years back, they helped national leadership in this country. But is it everything fixed? The whole country, is it beautified? No. Other parts of Liberia have got constraints, and government today, government tomorrow, and government to come will keep working on these constraints. But the message being preached by the senator in Nimba to talk about is because of tribal line. President Weah was voted. So you're taking the same political tribalism to Nima County, to Lofa County. What kind of drum is he beating? What kind of message is he sending? So you make now people to start looking at one another, saying you Nima man, saying Lofa man, saying you cool man, saying you what the other trap name, and we coming to have this political disagreement. This should not be. It should be about platform. It should be about the ideas. It should be about what did President Weah do in the 6 years that made the people to go and repose their confidence back in this man. So can we say now why the people in Nimba overwhelmingly voted the Unity Party? Why? Can you blame them for that? Why didn't he talk about it?
What did the Unity Party do?
What did the Unity Party do for Nimba County?
Nimba County, for which they
overwhelmingly voted
him. But not only that, Senator Coon is just going after or repeating what Senator Johnson said yesterday. Senator Johnson was speaking to other counties yesterday. He's on tape and on record. He was speaking to the Nibayans, the people from Bone County, the people from Margibi County, the people from Bomin County, and what other county did he call again? And he was telling them that, you know what? The people in the Southeast don't have anything but a voter for their son. So Nimba County, I'm calling on you. Vote for the rescue team. Bone County, I'm calling on you. Vote for the rescue team. Lofa County, I'm calling. Vote for the rescue team. Bassa, Margibi, vote for the rescue team.
Mount, Bombing.
So Coon is just repeating what Senator Johnson said, but few things to take away, right? For me. The road that comes from Monrovia doesn't jump over Nimba to go to the Southeast.
No.
President Weah, when you talk about people who are not grateful for anything,
I tell you,
it speaks volume of Senator Johnson. President Weah show Senator Johnson more love than anyone has ever done. And what he pays the president back with is ingratitude.
Yep.
He has continued to do that. Some people, on the day the CDC launched, I spoke with a lady, and it's on our page. She's in a wheelchair, 70 some more years of age, this woman. Under the rain, I saw her, in the crowd. So I was touched. I went to her and said, Mom, what are you doing here under this rain? She said, and she's outspoken. She says, why would I not be here? I said, what do you mean? She said, I am here from Nimba County, and the reason why I'm here is because of what President Weah is doing in Nimba County. I cannot show this president ingratitude. I am grateful for a president who is going to making sure that our roads in Nimba are better. She was calling some of the places. I asked her, what kind of roads in Nimba you're talking about? She was calling some of the places where, he connected in Nimba. That woman is sitting in the wheelchair, but she's under the rain, and she comes to show gratitude to President Weah. Senator Johnson has been senator for Nimba County for 18 years, right? 9 plus 9 is 18.
18 years.
They've given him additional 9 years.
9 to make it 27 years.
He is saying to the people of Nimba, even though President Weah has done all of what he has done for us, let us pay him back with ingratitude. But me, Senator Johnson now, who has been your senator for 18 years, what have I done for you as Nibayans? He has a university there where you have to pay $8 per credit. The Nibayans go to that university. He doesn't have a hand mark to say, this is what I have done for the people of Nimba. But he tells the people of Nimba what to do. They listen to him. What gives you the audacity to think that the people of Bone County don't deserve better also? Since you're tribal, the people of Bone County have their daughter in the race, who is,
the vice president.
The vice president to President Weah. And she's running. You're telling the people of Bone County, you people, you're Pella people. And they say Pella people are stupid. But is it from me? That's what people say. So y'all go and vote for Coon, because we need to have the rescue team rescue you. But let's look back at the Unity Party. How have they rescued Bone County? President Weah was in Bone County the other day, switching lights on, and you saw
in Palala.
Switching lights on.
It's good. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, switching lights on. What is it that the people of Bone County, why do you think that the people of Bone County should listen to you and you call on the people of Bone County and say, you're going to vote because the people in the Southeast, you didn't get votes from the Southeast? Coon went to the Southeast and said he's from the Southeast. Mm-hmm. Is he forgetting that he went there and told the people? So it's just chicanery. So why did you tell the people in the Southeast that I'm from here, I'm your son, vote for me? So if the people in the Southeast vote for you, they're only voting for you to make you president. Or the people can always say that, and they say the dump truck that can build a mansion. By the time
builds the mansion, but
by the time the mansion they finish building,
it's been disallowed.
It can't pass in front of the mansion.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell the people, vote for me, I'm your son. You go there. And you got votes from the Southeast.
Oh, yeah.
You did not say thank you in gratitude.
More than even 25,000.
You did not say thank you to the people, even if you got one vote. That is the difference between them and President Weah.
But just
look
a
at
minute.
Norfolk County.
So I wanted to come in because we don't have much time.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Because this is the same thing Costa is.
Yeah, so let me lay this another way, and I hope and pray that Senator Coon is listening, because I want to teach him something tonight that he's going to live with learning. It's very important that he listens. The people in the Southeast, in Lofa and in Nimba that voted for President Weah, they didn't vote him on a tribal basis. It is good to educate these people because they are politically naive and blind. Senator Coon is not a politician in the first place. I asked them a question. Today, the economic violence that Nimba County enjoys, how did it come about? After the 1990 revolution, when Senator Johnson became a beacon of hope for the people in Nimba, he encouraged them to develop the county. Senator Johnson, he encouraged them to develop the county and asked them to put hands together, save money together, and develop themselves. After 15 years, Nimba took a different trend. When President Weah became president, so at that level, people listened to him, right? Because he was able to drive them through their own economic challenges and they can stay tall, right? It was not just because of the war that he fought for them. It was because of the ideas they put together. Yes, President Weah. President Weah became president of Liberia. He made it clear that I am president for all Liberians. All Liberians. He didn't say for the Southeast. This was the only president in our country, even when Liberia had 12 counties, that toward the entire 15 political subdivision of the country, leaving indelible marks for the people. He went to Grand Coup. He left Project. He went to Sino. He left Project. He went to Nimba. He went to Lofa. He didn't say because I'm not from here. What he did was he was able to identify these different challenges and address it. For the first time in the lives of our people in the Southeast and in Zozo, Joseph Boaka's own county, there are 26 concrete structures in different sections that the president built for those people. Those were thatched huts. Is George Weah a normal man? Because he believes that in the 21st century, where construction has taken another level, it is only archaic to imagine people still living in thatched huts when the opportunities could be given to them. He would have chosen to just focus in the Southeast. So President Weah did not come to tribalize his administration. He came so that they benefit the opportunities despite the trivial economic challenges that has caused the world globally, that people will be able to benefit from the opportunities that his government come with. The chief of staff of our national army is from Nimba County. President Weah could have not decided to make a decision on that. There are developmental activities in the different counties that are not even in the Southeast.
How can you, let me hold you there, how can you even be a leader and be very divisive like that?
But you should be asking the Unity Party people.
Say that to the people of Nimba.
Because Coon is not historically aware of the president, the votes from the Southeast. So you want to tell me that 60,000 plus people in Nimba County that voted for George Weah, they voted for him because he's an Nimbayan?
Because Senator Johnson is very divisive and it's sad.
But that is bad.
It's really, really sad because you cannot be a leader of the people and you want to run the whole country and you already put one group of people aside. You already put, and I said this is the difference between them and President Weah. When President Weah went to Lofa County, for example, he said the people say, not many of you voted for me, but I don't thrive on that. If one person here voted for me, I appreciate that person. I appreciate all of you. I believe that you are my people. That's what a leader does. You do not segregate. You went to the Southeast. You told the people that I'm your son. You come back after election and show them ingratitude and say those people, they don't have this, they don't have that. If President Weah had focused everything on the Southeast, you'd be the same person today and say those people are the ones President Weah has focused on.
Yes.
He hasn't done anything. You are not proud to say this man has done this for Nimba and he's a good man. But you come to say to the Nimbayans who are enjoying what President Weah has done, you tell them that you're putting him against, the people in the Southeast. How do you come to power like that?
So you see, these will be the factors that will be playing out in these possible runoff. Folks who've collaborated with the Unity Party, one of the things that they've taken and they've had experienced about the Unity Party's collaboration is ingratitude. Those who've put their lives on the line to redeem, in their words, to resuscitate and bring back to the political limelight the damage and the deformed and dilapidated structure of the Unity Party politically, have been shown ingratitude. So when you hear Senator Coon, Senator Johnson, and the folks in the Unity Party are speaking like this, it tells you that even those people they want to go to solicit political support, there are people of ingratitude. So if we partner with them, suddenly they're going to stab us in the back. So they are starving themselves before the final whistle has been blown.
They're stabbing each other in the back, in fact.
But the sad thing also is, and I'm praying they realize this very early. Have you seen a fishing rod before? So at the end of the hook, on the hook, what do you see there? When you go fishing, you can put it. And you put out what we call it bait, right? Yeah. Do you know that for a handful of Unity partisans, Senator Johnson, Senator Coon are the bait to the presidency for them?
They're using them.
They are the bait. By the time the bait is all eaten up and only the metal hook remains, they're done.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I will expect my brother, Senator Coon, to be thinking futuristically on the devious plans of these guys. Not to be tribalistic, because that is not the kind of plan that's going to work. There are people that you fighting day and night, you and Senator Johnson fighting day and night, using your great essence that you have in your country to deliver the presidency to them. But I've seen people who say they will deliver the old man to the US as a gift. Cool will be one of the shortest term, a vice president, because his position is a nominative one. Where does he stand? You think Mo Ali sincerely like Jeremiah Coon? You think Patrick Miller sincerely like Jeremiah Coon? You think Jake Kabakole sincerely like Jeremiah Coon? No, they don't like Coon. They only like the fact that he's driving it towards the presidency.
But not only that, they don't like Coon, but they don't even care about the
people
of Nimba County.
They just want the votes.
You have a whole cabinet that you've set up. You have only one person. That poses like it's just for a Cooper crowd. Post in telecommunication is what
which is very bad.
Is what you give to Nimba County. And Senator Johnson is this person who said, the Nimba ain't get this one, the Nimba ain't get that one. But look at the proposed cabinet. You have only one Nimba in that proposed cabinet. How in the world are you going to still believe that these people are doing what they're doing to
you know why he's even there? You know why he's there? You know why Councilor Cooper is there?
Because he was seen out there.
No. Because of his daughter's alliance.
Okay.
It is his daughter that for shift for him. That's why he's there.
Okay.
They didn't give a heck about Senator Johnson, what he thinks of Senator Coon. It is because his daughter is a member of the Unity Party. That's the reason why they let put the paper here. Don't forget my gotta be here.
And I think her influence as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the only reason why. So people shouldn't say that because of Prince Johnson putting it. No, like because of daughter.
So you're coming to rescue Liberia. Prince Johnson, senator, already has his plan because he believes that he tells the Nimba people, rally around the rescue team because, it's our assets to the presidency. Because Joseph Nyomo Boakai is old and he will not continue.
You are just smarter than people. I can tell you.
My point is, Kun is going to do this, he's going to do that. That is his agenda. That's what he thinks. The Unity Party folks have their own agenda.
What are you waiting for?
They have their own agenda because they say the Nimba should be fooled to even think that we have that murderer of 25,000 people very close to, Joseph Nyomo Boakai. So if Boakai becomes the president of Liberia, Senator Johnson is not coming anywhere close.
So
he's not coming anywhere close. And that is the fight that is going to be in there. Because he's not going to take it lying down. He will say that I made it possible. We made it possible, the people of Nimba County, and you are trying to push us away. It's going to be a whole infight. Where are the people who you are going to rescue? How are they going to be rescued? Because if you have that confusion at the top, you can imagine if they say if two elephants fight, that the grass can suffer. So if you guys are fighting up there, then the Liberian people are left in limbo.
So the Liberian people, now what specifically?
We got 3 minutes to go to the line.
Yes. Specifically, we want to look at, we want to project, let's project the kind of government. If these people are fortunate, let's project the kind of government that we envisage. A government that will not be inclusive, that is preaching political tribalism, that someone from the other side who is being used to pull out the numbers will be delivered as a gift to the U.S. Embassy.
So the first infight there, they already deliver, they push Prince Johnson aside.
Yes.
Jeremiah Kun, the vice president, is a nominal position.
Yes.
So you'll be fighting there. He will not have any grip over anything because they will be on the other side. And they put their men in there because the same group of people who were in, the former President Sirleaf's government are the same people who have stayed on the side of, Ambassador Boakai are the ones who we see in the proposed cabinet.
Exactly.
So these are the same people. So 12 years ago, or 12 years you had in power, what has been your impact on the lives of the Liberian people?
Look in that proposed cabinet. You have at least at least 3 persons from Lofa. They're talking about tribalism. Looking at proposed cabinet, you got Steve Zago, you got Boakai Jr., you got Jake Kapakoli, you got a lot of, you understand
you got Browning Samuka.
You got Browning Samuka. You understand? So you got at least 3 persons in that cabinet.
Not 3 from Lofa. Patrick Hona is from
I'm
Lofa.
saying at least.
You got more than that number.
At least. So we're taking it from 3 all the way up.
Yeah, you got more than that number.
At least 3 persons in that proposed cabinet. So let's look at what Nimba is actually going to be benefiting from the proposed cabinet. Prince Johnson's continuous projection, even up to date, that he had to have his political disintegration with the CDC, was about Nimba people didn't get this, Nimba people didn't get this, Nimba people didn't get this. But see what has been projected. See what the Unity Party that he supports.
For me, that's not my point right now. The thing is, these people, let's look at them. What do they have to really offer? These are people who have been in government before. What has been there? They say when your Christmas will be good, you will go from the Eve.
But he left.
Yeah.
He left.
Patrick Honda served in Madam Sirleaf's government at the same ELBC. What is his footprint?
Exactly.
What is his footprint? What? Jake Kapakoli served in the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government. What is his footprint?
Good question.
What can you point to?
What?
The people have no idea.
Yes, indeed.
Getting served at the Ministry of Public Works.
Yeah.
What is his footprint? Steve Zago has been senator. What is his footprint in my county?
Here is it.
Sandra Johnson, another senator. What is his footprint?
The Steve Zago factor. The Steve Zago factor.
Served in Ellen government. What is his footprint?
because Steve Zago was overwhelmed.
Jerry Limepia serving early in government. What is this?
And he said now
the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism.
And he just said now in America there. He said now sometimes he appears on these radio stations that they connect with the Liberian
stuff. Sitting in America doing nothing and things that you can just buy out of the government and come back to Liberia,
and he's waiting
and you get another lucrative position and you suck everything out.
He's on the proposed stuff, right?
Of course,
but
the information minister.
He has not been able to travel back to Liberia to even vote for the government that
he wants to serve.
So you see, the Liberia, get people that come out of Liberia. You're coming back to Liberia now. You're coming back to serve strictly in the government. So
I'm saying something. So you see, the Liberian people have been used as the donkey.
Yeah,
you understand?
Put them back in power.
To provide the political space and opportunity for the opportunists who squander, in the words of the former, vice president, right? So you got Jeremy McPia, who is sitting in America comfortably. He's eating all the best he can. The Liberian people were the ones standing in the sun. So when they make these decisions and Jeremy McPia comes back to political office, it is not going to be the people's benefit. It's going to be Jeremy McPia's responsibility and his family in America. He's going to be catering to his family in America. It is not a reflection to the people in the interior.
No.
It is
who were under the sun. Sure that Joseph Boaga gets
it is not about the woman who has not been able to find a meal for a day. It is not that. No. It is just about these opportunists who sit in America and think that they have the loudest voice, that they will have to come back to power and then make use of the opportunity at the detriment of the people who will bring them back into political prominence and hold them to the political pedestal.
Okay.
This is the kind of thing we've been involved with.
Mandela Cooper should just come.
Joshua is a I want about personal issues again. So never consider.
Never forget it.
I'll be the worst general minister.
Let's forget about
because she's got no idea what the women of Liberia go through.
Let's forget about Mandela Cooper issue.
No, we're calling the proposed cabinet now.
Yeah, the proposed cabinet.
Without even saying thank you to Liberian people, while you're waiting for election results, without even trying to motivate your base to go over the runoff. So we expect them to even play the inaugural ball.
A tribal proposed cabinet.
You didn't see that video on election day right after voting. Those people went to
all the old folks.
All of them. They went and they were having
my dismay. You know, my dismay with that video was when I looked at the video. 99% of the people in there were all elderly people. Then I asked myself a question. Where is the young generation? Where's the young generation?
They're already having dinner.
Yeah, so I watched that video. Let's go to the lines and take Liberians' view. Those of you listening, the numbers to call are 0880-514-096. They say we should be taking time to call the numbers. 0880-514-096.
And please move away from your radio, please.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening, Washington. Good evening, Washington. Let me say good evening to CSTT.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Are you getting me, Washington?
I'm getting you, Chief.
Okay, thank you. This is the voice of Eric Taylor, the lead campaigner for the Beyond the Horse Seditions, and I'm phoning from District 3, Mosquito County.
Okay, sir.
Let me say thank you this evening for a unique conversation, actually firing, and I actually admire it for some of us following. But I like to say this, the reason, the essence of dream is that for it to become a reality. But when you get too much entertained at your dream, they don't become a reality. And that is exactly what is obtaining with the Unity Party and all of the Unity Party Senator, Ambassador Joseph Nyuma-Boaka. He is never going to become president of Liberia. It will just be a dream. And that's why we are persistently saying, we continue to say, we need opportunity where the platform be provided to us with the Beyond the Horse Sedition to take our megaphones in the community so that these messages you guys are pushing will help people that in front of people so that they will get to honesty and the lay woman that Beyond the Horse, Beyond the last woman there will get the message that you guys continue to push on the platform. And we appreciate that with the Beyond the Horse Sedition be given the opportunity to take our megaphone because this is how we want to contribute to where we do our recording on the data phone, take it to the community where they will get the message.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is William Numan calling from San.
Call from where? You call from where? You're coming in broken. I'm sorry. I can't continue with you. Let's take this other person. Good evening. Let's move away from the radio, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Lower the volume of the radio behind you. I'm
near the radio. What I want to tell is people Google calling on GSA road.
Okay, I'm hearing you now. Go ahead.
What I want to tell is the bishop where is not a bad man, but the campaign manager and the deputy campaign manager from both Jersey in the way that is dividing of that and were womanly both for Prince Jersey and the Senate bearer. So if you have your father,
how did they provoke him? How did they provoke him?
It's not here the deputy campaign manager when you're within the studio and the people are talking over to the Josie from Nima Kande.
They are what?
I think you never heard the deputy campaign manager when your interview at the studio.
What did he say?
Exactly. You tell us what did he say?
The man said in the panel they are taking over to the Josie.
They are taking over. Johnson. What do you mean by that? Hold it. What do you mean by they're taking over Senator Johnson?
Because I don't understand.
I'm telling you, when you're at the studio,
what do you mean when he said that?
They carry over Senator Johnson. People are no more in favor of Senator Johnson. Later in the interview.
They are taking who now?
Who's the deputy cabinet?
I thought about the deputy cabinet manager.
They have chosen Garrison over Senator Johnson.
Now, why he
Garrison and Johnson are not in the same. They're not in competition, are they?
According to
I'm asking you now because that's the analogy you're giving. Are they in competition?
So they can't say can be manager. They prove.
Garrison can never say that to a senior citizen of Nima County.
Yeah, so today, good evening and good brother Washington. This is E. Armstrong Bapu.
Where are you for long? Where are you from?
You're telling me who you to our studio?
For some time now, I've been off the radio because I was bereaved, but thank God we are back. And first, thank God that we have one of our leaders in the studio there. Let me ask him that we, the Israeli groupings, we are now ready to go back and tell our people why President Weah should be re-elected. We should leave the guys, let it go ahead, don't laugh and be sessionally carry around, but we should go there and be done the laugh and be session and educate our people how to, because all those 100,000 plus vote you saw, invalid vote you saw, they came from our side. So I'm asking our leaders, our party, that they empower us. Some of us, we are willing to go to everywhere we have human beings and they can vote. We are willing to go there and carry the message to re-elect ourselves. And thank you very much.
Thank you for being a part of the program. Let's hear you.
Good evening, how are you doing?
Good.
Hello?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, this is Jason from District 4. How are you doing now?
Good.
Thank you very much for the topic on our discussion today. I really appreciate you guys in the studio concerning about the love liquor that the Nigerian people fire. I really love that discussion today. This is a discussion 1 year for you guys. I love it. And what really ran to me is they since I was born up to now this year I know the importance of voting cards. Like, bro, we are not marrying the population matter. We don't need to fight among ourselves for someone power, someone leadership, or someone good life.
Agenda work for you.
We need to make the voter card according to news.
Okay.
Yes, President Weah work that don't put him back. We don't need to fight among ourselves.
All right, brother.
I agree.
This is a message we need. Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
Hello?
Yeah,
good evening.
Are you getting me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I'm Steven Zahn. I come from Zulu Whiskey.
Hey, the great Steven Zahn. What's up?
Really, I've been breaking down the system to see the way Liberians voted, the way they voted. Most especially to see a candidate called Bouaka and President Weah are neck to neck. It's so disappointing. It tells you that the hatred people got in this place out of envy is too much in Liberia. You were only referring to Prince Joseph alone, but let me tell you something. We got more Prince Joseph in Liberia. On a serious note. But what I observe is that I don't blame these guys. The government is have issues that are very betraying to the process. But let's pray for this government so that the government will succeed in Jesus' name. Thank you.
Amen.
Hello? The person is listening to the radio at the same time.
Good evening. This is Paul Sosa that called from Zulu Whiskey.
Let's hear you.
Okay, before I start, there's a song right there that says, look at how Jesus loved us, but we turn our back to him and start doing different things. That's why
it's all be singing the song. You all be talking it. So sing the song. Let me hear it.
You know what?
Sing the song. Let me hear it. Don't talk the song.
I should sing the song?
Oh boy.
Go ahead.
Because of time factor.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I will answer the song. You see, it's not good to pay somebody evil for their good. If you read the book of Psalm 109, it's not good for you to pay somebody evil for their good. If you read the same Psalm 35 verse 1, it will tell you the same thing. We decide we are now ungrateful to a leader. We are not rebellion to our leader. We were person, we are not helping directly, the man helping us indirectly. Look at the man had my in less than 3 years, the man had my only 15 county. Even sometimes look at the whole county where he did a lot of development. Or they try to pay him with that kind of number. So we had to think. We don't want to tell other people, other Libanians. I said the only time you will make that your decision by voting against President Weah, when the man is not doing development in the area, but look at the kind of development that the man doing there. You could be two vice presidents. Dokun was the first vice president, and the second vice president was mostly black. Where are those people headline in Linda? You can't tell that any of the headline, then president, we will not hear from them. Look at the man headline in less than 3 years. So it's better do the devil that you know that the Indian you're not saying. Or young one for them are going to be part of the whole car because it's a vice president is a park car. So the park car you like, so we want to turn your back on President Weah, so we have to shine our eyes.
All right, thank you.
For that be some of the same business.
I think I can really get to know. Because you guys want to break out the eardrum, man.
Yeah, hello, caller, go ahead. Your name and where
This is Ibrahim calling you from district number 4. I would like to commend the studio guests tonight for the discussion tonight. So basically, from Nima, what I would like to tell you guys is let us go back as physicians and try to make some strategies in Nima that will be able to win the souls of those people in that place that will be able to get successful for the second round.
Totally agree with you. That's a very good point.
Let us try to plan it and then go there.
Thank you very much.
Prince Johnson with all lot of things and passing all around. Let us forget about Prince Johnson and then focus on our president re-election.
Thank you for being a part of the program. You can do same by calling us on those numbers. Please move away from the radio. Good evening. Hello.
It's okay. Let me drink some water now.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening to you.
Thank you. This is the voice of Queen William Lovey. Joining this conversation for District 3. Let me appreciate all of you for the discussion. You know, actually, I can sense the breaking heart into your tone. You know, working as a government official for 6 years and time has come for the people to retire you from real offices. You know, you can think anybody can help anybody. I can say it from the discussion. You know, there are some propaganda meant to promote people, and there are some propaganda meant to derail people's popularity.
Okay, so if the propaganda is meant to promote you, just go and drink a bottle of wine. Don't bother, because it's promoting you. Why not? Good evening.
Hello?
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Linton calling from G City.
From where?
Kanta, right?
Linton calling from G City, Kanta.
Okay. Joe, welcome. Let's hear you, bro.
Yeah, brother, you people here will see your time. No amount of things will say that we don't vote for UP. Anything just in tell us, we'll go by it.
Go by
We
it.
in Nigeria, we are willing to vote for UP again.
Okay,
We'll
no
do that.
problem. Thank you. Thank you. Go
Thank
ahead.
you.
You entitled to that as democracy.
Exactly. Nobody's stopping you. Hello.
Hello?
Good evening.
Hello? Yeah.
Good evening.
Let's hear you. You can move away from the radio, man. Or that's what you listen to. Yeah, let's hear you.
Thank you so much for the topic on discussion this evening as it relates to the sitting of the Day of Representatives Senators. Most especially for District 8, and Carlos Gray, who have been misusing that district for some time. We want to thank God that you have been
What do you call misusing the district?
Can you tell us what you mean by misusing the district?
No, before you go further, what do you call misusing the district?
I cannot agree have been ill-treating the district. He have been including
how has he ill-treated the district? How has he misused
I'm imagining the words
district tonight. Well, I know that you will be.
And you expect that we'll just give you the airtime to just, talk rubbish, and then you will be allowed to do that. It's not going to happen here. When you say somebody is ill-treating or misusing the district, you must be able to tell us how.
Yeah, because you're responsible for what you're saying.
Of course. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing? Is it ELBC?
Yes, this is ELBC.
Okay. Yeah, thank you in the studio there. Thank you all. What I want to say to us from Nimba in Don County, Lofa, I want to tell them, I want to explain a scenario to them tonight. I want them to understand us. We are the people we are the citizens of this country. Never ever will allow other people from outside that have nothing to do in this country, then we allow them to fool us. I'm advising everybody, remember it should be advisable and know for tomorrow. Because if they would do that to Mr. Weah, tomorrow is a record edition. If they remind Prince Johnson and support the entire member, that will be a record set against them. The government will come, government will go, but that record will stay against them. The same way in Bronx County, the way I'm from. I'm appealing to the Bronx tonight. The English front, or how you call it, that Prince Johnson man coming to Bronx County, where I'm from. I don't want to hear that. Yeah, let me all put together and know ourselves. Joy Awatina is our sister. Joy Manawia is our son. He being our son. Joy Manawia been doing good for this country.
Exactly.
We know what he been doing for us in this country. If they don't know, but we know. Yes, the government.
It's gone off the line. Let's take this one. We'll take 3 more and then we call it a quit.
Yeah, thank you. You see, you people have a problem with Patrick Honda, man. And Patrick Honda.
You and who discussing Patrick Honda? We have to say what we had to say. Patrick Honda work right here where I work.
He said what he wanted to say.
If I have problem with Patrick Honda, how is it your business? Hello.
Yeah, my name is Abu, and I speak with you from the Chicago budget.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, Tiki, I just want to share this with you. We are very well aware as a son of Lofa County. This strategy that I'm about to tell you, I can put my neck on the line. The data cutting by CDC today can never be compared to what NEC is disclosing today. What I am saying is this. That blue plastic that guy called Dallas Dillon brought was a serious distraction. I can tell you for free, the plastic water, there's nobody that was told the whole country did that sheet on
14,000 sheets of paper. 14,000.
14,000 sheets. It is a result between he and Thomas Bala. Don't forget. The white sheet go to NEC, the blue go to the first winner, the yellow go to the second, the pink is posted on the wall. But seriously said that they had their data room, their war room, so they said that, oh yeah, we are confident with the data we have already gotten, the content we have already won, we're only waiting for NEC to be pronouncing, then we'll be comparing it with our war room. But they forgot that if they submitted that piece sheet or whatever the record are given to the magistrate, when the magistrate to the war room and to the data entity will elect, it is there this whole file is put. If you listen to one of the commissioners giving result and he was stuttering, Bristol result we saw how it went. So we are saying that only if CDC, whether they are ruling party, we don't want to look like Donald Trump. And the time for us to do it, we are ruling party when we cry, people will laugh at us. We should be able to broadcast it ahead of time. By the time we get our data, let's tell NEC that we are having this amount of data. And it's because when they are playing with the magistrate over there, and messing with our information. It is the play, it is the game that went on not too long that you saw. Everything that you see that CDC tells you one is a amount of counties, it went at the contrary. So I just try to share this with you. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you very much for your points.
I'm not taking calls anymore because we're totally out of time. I'm coming back to you, Nooks. You listen to the callers.
So to the brother in Nimba who said that the Nimbayans are resolved to listen to Senator Johnson and vote where he wants them to vote, I'm saying to him that we do not have a problem as a government. Nimba County is Liberia as well. The Nimbayans are our brothers and our sisters. They are unique people. No level of political challenges will divide us. The same way you are listening to Senator Johnson, it is the same way other Nimbayans are following their hearts and they are listening to their consciences and voting for the president on the basis of what he's done. Like I said, this government has never tribalized the issue of development, and President Weah will not do it now. Our campaign messages are never going to be centered around the different tribal lines. We will continue to identify with our people and appreciate, even if President Weah got 15 voting in my county, we appreciate the 15 persons that came out to vote for the president. We know that the runoff, the president is going to get 30 votes, which means that other people consciously look at the fact that the president has done something for them that they can appreciate. To our auxiliaries, the brother that called in his concern, roll your sleeves and all hands on deck. We are about to hit the road again. We already know that our president is the most favorite contender in the race, and he's going to win this runoff. So we are very optimistic. And to the many callers that call, let us continue to hold the peace, because it is only with peace that we can be able to utilize the opportunities that we have as Liberians. Let us not be driven by the deception of our brothers on the other side who believe that if they can be today, nobody is going to be. Liberia is everybody's place. Like I said, democracy is for the people, of the people, and by the people. As was expressed by our people in the different districts across the country and different counties, replacing lawmakers with new ones. Let us not be relaxed in our service. And to the last caller who raised a concern regarding our war room, we're going to do better this time around. You know, people learn lessons in many different ways. And I mean, we know at the end of the day, we're all going to get the work done. We want to say thank you because Liberians has got the confidence of the president. This president is not a tribalistic president. When President George Weah, at the point in time, he was a sucker or celebrated. When he stood before the Arthur Ashe Awards in 2004, he did not represent Liberia as a cool man. He represented Liberia as a Liberian crying to the world to consider Liberia's plight and send intervention forces to end the war in our country. He used 2 young Liberians as a symbol of Liberian children crying for peace. Today, those 2 young children are men and women, like myself sitting here. So all of those things the president has done was all geared towards uniting our country and not dividing our country. To my political brothers in the opposition, stop this tribal politics. It's not getting you anywhere because at the end of the day, President Weah is going to win the elections. Do you expect the president, after he must have won the election, to close his eyes on counties that did not give him the votes he needed? No. This is not the time for this. If you sincerely love Liberia and believe that you is an alternative, your message should be one of uniqueness, one of peace, one of convincing nature that the people can see you and say we elect you. But until then, President Weah remains the ultimate alternative for our country.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you very much, Dee. It was a good conversation, and we look forward to a better one tomorrow.
Tomorrow is Friday. Friday is the start of the weekend. We see you when we see you. We talk to you when we talk to you. Thanks to all of you who made it your duty to call in. That is why it's open conversation. We talk about, everything that concerns us as a country. But when you call on the show, you have to answer questions. When you make allegations, we will ask you those questions. If you think you can run with what you want to say and just get away with it, it is not when TT sits here, because it's a conversation that we must have. We gave you an opportunity. If you make allegations, you must be able to talk about that. You must make it clear to the public. It's not about you calling and just say what you want to say. You go, no, it's not happening. So let's keep the conversation civil. We'll be here tomorrow, God willing. Have a pleasure.
From the east to the west, north to the south, let's come together at home. They say you're not there, we stand, but we fight. If we're not